Hey everybody, I'm here with my wife, Stacy, and she's got 5 things that she wants to show you that's important to have in the situation that the S is hitting the F, or the weed eater's hitting the dog crap. I've experienced that, and it's way worse than fan. And I've got 5 man things that I'm going to talk about. Things you might have missed, like this. We'll leave this one for the last. Some of you might know what that is. That's a good one. You go first.
Let's go with the food saver first, because this was kind of on both of our lists.
All right. We use this thing all the time.
Yep.
And I know a lot of you probably have one.
If you don't, you need to get one.
If you don't, you should get one. It's real simple. All it does is it sucks the air out of your food. Like this oatmeal, for instance. It will suck it down to where it's like a brick. And what we do is write the label on it, the date. You can see what it is, you don't have to label it. And we will cut the edge of it off right at the top where it's vacuum sealed, dump it out in our container that we're going to use for that week or month or whatever. And then we'll fill this same bag back up with either the same thing, or it could be rice, or it's something dry, and seal it back up.
Reuse it.
Yeah, you can use this same one over and over and over. That's been a really good hack that I think will help somebody.
Yeah.
Right.
We also use it I do flour like that. I take the whole bag of flour, put it in there, just keeps it safe. All right, one thing I have is a first aid kit. I know it sounds simple, but it's something that you really don't think about, all the different things that you need. His dad's an EMT, and he's been helping me put together a box of just little items that you just don't think about, a burn ointment, a tourniquet, just little things like that, and it's actually been really useful. I've been collecting a really good box.
And while you're on medical, think about all the prescriptions you need.
Yes.
Blood pressure medicine, anything, diabetic medication, try to hoard some of that stuff and have a pile of it. I know
and even vitamins.
Yeah, vitamins is a good one. Alcohol, rubbing alcohol, things to sterilize things, even drinking alcohol. That's good for both. You can drink it, sell it, or use it to clean whatever.
Yep.
So
I've just created a box. I have a box upstairs, and I've just been actually adding to it. And like I said, his dad's been helping me. So yeah, that's what I'm working on.
yeah. Okay, my turn. All right, I hear a lot of prepper channels they're stating the obvious, and those need to be talked about. And I heard somebody say a fire starter, like a flint rock or something like this. I think this is like magnesium block. It's got a magnesium block on one side and a scratch flint on the other. I actually bought this for my little nephew, and on second thought, I didn't give it to him because it's really dry around here. But we're not really going camping with the Boy Scouts, you know what I'm saying? If you want to build a fire, we've got ways to do that that's way more efficient. That's why I have the Binford 10,000. Okay. It takes a green bottle. I'm going to get into that in a minute. But if you're going to start a fire, I use this on my pellet stove every time. You can do it really fast with this. It doesn't take much fuel. I use this thing all the time. I don't remember where I got it. It's called a self-lighting outdoor torch. This is a great way to start a fire, or matches, or a lighter, or just about anything but a flint. When the lights go out, the first thing you think of is usually a flashlight, not building a fire. You know what I'm saying? Or try to get some things that get a little bigger than what you need, because you never know. You could use this thing to boil water. You could use it to. There's better ways to do that, but there's it will help you light your heater, light your stove fast. I start our fires with it everywhere, so that's a must for me.
Yep. Also, those long-ended matches and that are waterproof. Those are really good to stick around too. All right, my turn. I know this sounds simple, but a self can opener. Almost all my friends and family, they have electric can openers. And if your electricity goes out, we'll try opening a can without a can opener. I've tried, and it's not fun or pretty. So I keep a couple of these on hand. I keep one in the house, one in the camper, and I keep another one stored It's just good to
I
have.
never thought of that. I thought everybody's got a can opener.
They don't.
That's the only kind I've ever used.
No, a lot of people have electric can openers. Yep, most of all my family and friends do. So get you a hand one.
All right, what happens when the lights go out? First thing that happens around here is the generator
Yep.
rolls out, and we start plugging up everything. I used to do that. Now I've got a throw-out box. I showed that in the other video. But I'm always scratching to find three-ways. I've got extension cords, you got the generator running, and it's like, okay, I got to have a splitter for everything I want to run. Some of you already set up different and you're prepared a little more, but some people just have a generator and an extension cord or two, and they could really use a three-way splitter because there's lots of things that need electricity. All of our refrigerators, lights, everywhere. And it's one of the few things that I kind of got caught with my pants down. I didn't have anything.
This is actually really good, women. This is also really good for appliances too. I would actually advise getting one of these for your kitchen. I have one that's in mine. I use it all the time. I hook up either the computer or I hook up just all kind of appliances. This is great for just women to have.
And they're cheap. They're cheap. Buy a bunch of them and just throw them on the shelf. You'll use them forever.
Yep.
All right, your turn.
Okay, my turn. Once again, this is very simple, but soap. People don't think you need to have soap on hand to just clean, do whatever. And some of this stuff I heard the other day, the deodorant, the ingredients to get deodorant, they can no longer get it. So they are changing the ingredients to actually process deodorant. I saw that article the other day. So every time I go to the store now, I notice there's a little bit less of this every single time. So just get you a little bit of soap, stock it up, it'll last forever. And this stuff is really safe. You can use it on dogs. You can clean with it. So
And get the concentrated one.
yes.
Don't get the one that's already diluted.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a waste.
Yeah, it's easy to store.
Okay. Here's one that I have no idea how to run this thing. I could probably figure it out, but you're not really supposed to talk on this Bofang radio if you don't have a license. And this is a super cheap one. I just got it to have it and try to get familiar with it. If anybody out there, anybody in the community has a license to run these things or could give the rest of the community would like to come on with me and talk about it, kind of what to do, how to get on it, how to use it, what not to do. And maybe we could turn it on and listen to you talk, all go to the same channel and have a designated channel. That'd be awesome. But this is, in a grid down situation where the cell phones aren't working, this could really, really be handy. So a radio would be awesome. And this is simple. It was like $25 off Amazon, Bofang. So that's something I'm not very familiar with, but I'd like to be.
Yeah, I would too. I'd like to learn more about
Yeah,
that.
I bet somebody out there does.
That'd be great to know. Yeah. Okay, next thing. This is a little bit going on his, but batteries. This is something simple we don't think about, but go through your house and find out what you use for batteries. We use this a lot, this double A. So go through your house, all our flashlights, everything like that, and I just buy extra bulk. I noticed the other day when I went, they were running really low on batteries, and I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah, when I was at Kroger. So just pick up a little extra, and it's actually important the brand you get. We used to buy the off-brand, remember that? And they would last like no time at all. So I started going with the better brand. And
Yeah, I used to buy the knockoff batteries, and they didn't last very
Yeah.
long. You usually
So-
get what you pay for.
Yep, it's important.
Okay, here's something that I've always done, but I do a little bit more now. I keep filters for my tractors, lawnmowers, welding machines, truck. I try to keep 4 or 5 for everything. It's kind of expensive to do, but you've got it. I know there's a glut of goods right now, for the most part. So maybe a lot of people can't afford to just run out and buy 10 filters of everything they got because they're pretty expensive. But if you can, pile up some filters and things that you know for sure you're going to need and that are only going to go up in price as they get harder and harder to find. And this applies for a lot of things. Like, just try to, like the other day, our septic system, our Cajun air pump, we got a Cajun air system. It pumps oxygen into our sewage tank, septic tank, and it creates the good bacteria, and the bacteria eats the solids, and it really keeps everything healthy. Well, it quit only because the diaphragm on the side wore out. So I had to order one of those, and I thought right then, I said, you know what? I need to order 3. 1 is none, 2 is 1, and 3 is where you want to be. So, that kind of stuff. Always be thinking, when you go to get something you absolutely have to have, get a few more.
Yeah, it's very, very true. And it's stuff you don't think about. I was reading a book the other day, actually 2 books I've read recently, and I never even thought about this next item that I want to talk about, but it's towels. I never even thought about it. And they were talking about it in the book. This is a true story. It was one of them, I think, Germany. One was in, I think it was China. No, not China. North Korea. Anyway, they had no towels. They could not access towels. They were literally ripping towels up in shreds and trying to preserve them. And they had the gray towels and the clean towels. And so just get you a little extra towels. Just stick them somewhere. They'll last forever. And so I'm just, I remember my great-grandmother. She ran out of towels. And whenever you'd give her a new towel, she would actually go hoard it and put it in a drawer, because in the Depression, she said they didn't have towels. I guess they struggled to have towels. So just pick you up a little extra.
They struggled to have a lot of things. It scarred my grandmother up. She was somewhat of a hoarder her whole life after that.
So just pick you up a little extra and just put it in a box. Yeah. That's what I'm doing.
It's really strange we have to talk about this stuff in America.
Yeah.
This should be on everybody's list. You should have this to protect your family. Everybody should be walking around with one. We ought to be walking around with it on our sides like the Wild West. That's the only thing that stops a bad man with a gun is a good man with a gun. Now, we've pretty much covered all the little things we've had. This was the one thing that I ran across, and I was like, man, I need to let people know about this. This is how I fill these green bottles up. I use these all the time, and they're expensive. So I have my big bottle, like the 30-pound. I got a 100-pound tank too, a couple of them, and I've also got one on the ground, 500-pound, a gallon. You screw this side into your 30, or the one on your camper, the one on your barbecue grill. You turn the big bottle upside down, and this is left-hand threads, by the way, and then you screw your green bottle. You turn the big can upside down so the liquid is at the bottom, and then you screw this onto here, and it will fill it up. It works best if you put this in the freezer first to help give it a vacuum, and it'll put 1 pound of propane in this bottle. I don't usually freeze them. I used to, but I usually just keep it upside down with this in it all the time. When I need it, I just screw it in, turn it on. It fills it up about 3/4 of the way, and I'm good to go again. These will also run your cooking stove, your camping cooking stove that you should have. A way to cook food and heat water and all these things, and they're just really handy. So that's one thing that everybody should probably have.
Yes, I agree. I love it.
So guys, that's it. As we run across more things that I think is going to help people, we're going to start doing these little videos, and because just try to get ready for the Thunderdome. It gets a little different every day. And I've noticed that there's more and more people waking up.
Yeah.
There's more and more people noticing, hey, there's something wrong. And, this is going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy when, like the people that are buying silver every day, new buyers every day are buying this. And this is something we left out. Junk silver would be an excellent.
It would be. Yeah.
Man, I can't imagine going into some type of hyperinflation without some type of precious metals. There's nobody on earth that was glad they didn't own them in that situation. So we'll talk about this a little more, and we're going to do one of these videos on the garden and the garden things that you can have that will make you food, year after year. So have an awesome day, guys. Later.